What's up guys, my name is Adriel Rivera and I'm going to be showing you how I made my latest pop song called Alright featuring Errazo. Now, I originally posted on my Twitter and Instagram that I was going to be making a behind the scenes video. I just didn't know which song I would make one for. So I put a poll on both my Instagram story and my Twitter, and I asked between Keep Me Steady and Alright, and majority of people voted for Alright. So if you want to be part of that conversation, make sure to follow me on my social media, and I'll have links in the description, so check those out. And if you like the song, because you're watching this video, I'm going to give you a free download for the song. They'll be in the description. All you gotta do is sign up with your email and you'll be given a free copy of the song. But if you're not one of those people that do that, then you could always stream this song on Apple Music and Spotify and all the other platforms that you usually listen to music on. But without further ado, let's get started. So usually when I write music, I start off with the chord progression, and with this song I was just messing around with the chords on the piano until I came up with something that sounded like this. So when I had that, I recorded it into the FL Studio and quantized everything so it came out sounding like that. So after I got the piano recorded, I started working on the melody sound. So this is the sound that you hear throughout the whole entire song. And then this is also the same melody used in the chorus. So in order to make this sound, literally what I did was I got a empty Dasani water bottle. I blew into it so it made like the whoo noise, and I recorded that. This is how it originally sounded like, right? And basically I mapped that to a whole bunch of different notes so that I can make the melody like this. So, you know, you get the idea. And then after that, I added some effects to it to make it sound different, not so plain. What I ended up doing was adding some distortion, so it gives it a little more of a bite, a little punch. After that, I added some EQ to remove some of the low end and like the real like, what would you say, breathy sound. So, sounds a lot more cleaner. After that, I added a fruity flanger, and basically this gave it a modulated sound, some modulation. So there's like that vibrato in there. And then after that, that's basically done. So then I added some reverb. And then you could add that back with the rest of the song. Now what I'm gonna show you is how I came up with the drums. So I first started off with a kick, and listening to what I had so far, I already kind of knew which direction I wanted to bring the song into, which was like a real dancey, you know, feel. So in order to do that, you know, the drums is a real good way probably the best way to make it feel bouncy in a sense. I started off with the kick, and then I had a little bit of a little tambourine in there, so it has that that you usually hear in like tropical music or like Spanish music. So after I got the kick and the tambourine recorded, I recorded the claps. Just very simple clap with reverb back to it. So this is what you got, and then when you put them together, yeah. Then after that, I added some toms because I wanted to have a little bit more of a fill in there, and I just heard toms in my head, so you got like that little doo-doom-doom sound going on the whole time, and it's hard to hear, but it adds to it so much, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but it's just how music works, you know. So when you put all of them together, you got that dancey feel. And then you add that in with the rest of the instruments. now you got that track going on. So after all that, obviously we need a bass line. This is probably one of my favorite 808s to use. I usually use this 808. What I ended up doing with this 808 is I added some distortion to it. This, as you can hear, this is how it sounded like originally. So there's a lot more low end to it, and adding that distortion just makes it a little bit more audible. After that, you go into the chorus. So basically the whole song sounds like it has that same feel, it has that same sound, but whenever the chorus comes up, it's always like a breakdown where the kick is removed, like a lot of the instruments are removed, and all that's left is the piano and the flute. But I also add in this other sound. It's a drone. It sounds like this. And I added some automation to it, so it has that little sweeping sound. So it goes. It's hard to describe, but when you listen to it, you'll understand what I mean. I also added some hi-hats. You know, put some triplets in there too, to give it more of like a, I don't know what kind of feel I would give it or describe it with, but it's a good feel. So, and that's how the chorus sounds like. These are all the elements to the whole entire song, but there are, you know, some little automation effects at the beginning of the song, you know, and towards like the end of the song that give it a different kind of feel. So whenever you're making music, remember to get creative with it. But let's move on to the lyrics. Before I got Philip on this song, I wrote my lyrics first. And something I should point out too is that before the first verse comes in, there's a little reverse reverb. So it sounds like this, and you'll hear it. Too many times I doubt myself. So, you know, I recorded myself and I mixed that in with the rest of the song, and then after that I got Philip to come in and he recorded his part and we worked on the lyrics together. So this is what he came up with. Pressure on my chest, got to be the very best. I give you more and never less. Usually when I record lyrics, I got the main vocal track, but then I also have a higher pitched vocal track that goes on top of it just to give it a little bit more of a full sound. And Philip only recorded his bass vocals, so I had to go back in and harmonize with him. And the good thing is that me and Philip have very similar voices, so you could barely tell that this is even me singing with him. Pressure on my chest, got to be the very best. So that's me singing up the octave, and when you put that with Philip, pressure on my chest, got to be the very best. So basically that gives it a more like full of a feel. And whenever you're recording, you know, vocals, if you ever feel like they are too flooded by the rest of the mix, then you just add a little bit of like a backing vocal to it, and I think it'll bring it out a little bit more. Put that back in with the rest of the song. So that's basically the premise of it. And if you guys want to listen to the song, make sure you check it out on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, anywhere you listen to your music, it'll probably be there. If you have any questions about making music or producing music, go ahead, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll be glad to answer any questions you guys got. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you like the video, you know, help me out a little bit. But thank you for watching. Hope you got something from this video, because I love spreading some knowledge about music. And remember, don't be afraid to show your genius. All right, peace. Everything